down to just 97 months, significantly shorter. I mean, that's a dramatically reduced sentence. In your view, did she provide any sufficient legal justification for, not just for departing, but for departing so dramatically in that case?
I mean, she provided a justification. It just certainly wasn't sufficient.
So gender identity and personal circumstances?
I mean, she made a very bizarre argument about how general deterrence doesn't really work. And she made in particular this claim that, you know, no rational person would take a 10-year sentence to achieve a political assassination, which 4,000 years of history rebuts.
Right. Now, if that were the case, we could throw the sentencing guidelines out the door, could we not?
Sure, we don't need them at all.
Because if what she's saying is lengthy incarceration is never appropriate or rarely is appropriate because any sane, rational person, sane enough and rational enough to be guilty of committing a criminal offense, would be rationally deterred by a significantly shorter sentence. Where would be the stopping point in that?
I mean, there wouldn't be. We might see murderers regularly getting 8 to 10 year sentences, especially if, you know, conditions were terrible because they were trans.
So in your estimation, did the judge act outside of the typical bounds of permissible judicial discretion?
Absolutely.
And go rogue?
Yeah, I think this is a rogue decision.
So this is the problem that I think most of us has seen, the issue with these judges, these DAs, and these towns in these states that, like, we watched this all happen in Portland and stuff with Antifa, or Seattle with Antifa, where they would commit all these crimes. Now they have this no bail stuff. They'll do all this junk. The police have gotten to the point where they don't even arrest people anymore. It's like they round them up, they arrest them, they take them to jail, and they're out back on the streets within 30 minutes. We saw this happen with that woman. Remember, was it last week or the week before, that was struck in the face with the man that hit her in the face with a nail protruding out of it, and the eye blinded the lady. He'd been arrested something like 14 times for like attacking people on the streets or something like that. I'm back out on the street. They don't keep these people in jail. It's the same thing that right now happening in Minneapolis, where they can go out there and antagonize these law enforcement officers, you know, throw stuff at them. We've watched them throw rocks at ICE agents at their trucks. We've watched this happening. He's trying to set ICE facilities on fire. It's just, I don't know. Like, they've been under attack for months. So all this, like, oh, the poor lady that was trying to ram the guy with her car. How dare he shoot? Like, are you kidding me? But whatever. That's what we're up against. That's why we got to get this stuff. Then I think Pam showed this, but I'll show it again. It was really good. Brandon Gill destroys Democrat witness claiming Somali immigrants make up Minnesota stronger with stats. He says all this. We've heard it, but, you know, I'll let him cook on this on his own. He's really good. He's been really good.
Large-scale Somali immigration make Minnesota stronger or weaker?
Certainly stronger.
Certainly stronger. Do you know what percentage of Somali-headed households in Minnesota are on food stamps?
No.
54%. Do you know what that number is for native Minnesota-headed households?
Well, to be clear, a majority of the...
It's 7%. There's a big difference between 54% and 7%, is there not?
Excuse me, sir. Could I answer the question?
Let me move on. We've got a lot of questions here. What percentage of Somali-headed households in Minnesota are on Medicaid?
I don't know.
It's 73%. Do you know what that number is for Minnesota native households?
Again, you're using the phrase Minnesota native households, but the majority...
The number is 18%. That's quite an astounding difference. I think we would agree.
Can I answer the question, please?
Let me ask you one more, and then we can go on to that. What percentage of Somali-headed households are on welfare in general?
I don't know.
It's 81%. What about, let me just ask you, after 10 years of being in the United States, what percentage of Somali immigrant households continue to be on welfare?
I don't know.
The number is 78%. So even after 10 years, 78% of Somali immigrant households continue to be on welfare. Do you know what that number is for native Minnesota-headed households?
Again, you're using
non-Somali immigrant-headed households.
If I can just answer the question, when you're using the phrase native Minnesotans, the majority of Somali Minnesotans are as Minnesotan as any of us. They were born in the United States. It's only 8,000 of the 108,000 Somali.
Nevertheless.
Yeah, what he leaves out there is how many of them are children. How many of them, you know, are the kids that these people are having, the American boys. They're the ones getting the food stamps and the welfare and the and all these programs. And the more children they have, the more they get.
The welfare usage is astoundingly different.
But whatever. Details. We'll remove this one too. Okay. Oh my God, this was funny. You know, I got to throw in a little comedy. This was cute.
All right, now lose it. Just lose it. Go crazy. Oh, baby. Oh, baby, baby. All right, now lose
I'm
it.
sorry, but that's cute. I got to repost that. I got to throw in some laughter in my feed sometimes because so much stuff is so serious. This one, I already showed. Oh, this is another one. For a very long time, buying and owning a home was considered the pinnacle of the American dream. It was a reward for working hard and doing the right thing. But now, because of the record high inflation caused by Joe Biden and the Democrats in Congress, the American dream is increasingly out of reach for far too many people, especially younger Americans. It is for that reason and much more that I'm immediately taking steps to ban large institutional investors from buying more single family homes, and I will be calling on Congress to codify it. People live in homes, not corporations. I will discuss this topic, including further housing and affordability proposals, and more at my speech in Davos in 2 weeks. Oh, we're going to Davos, hopefully, and laying down some bricks because that's the number one problem. Remember, we had BlackRock and all them going and buying up all these houses, turning them into Airbnbs or rentals. Yep, good. I have something else on that. We'll see, though. Then this is the Border Patrol boss Bonavito kept raiding after ICE agents attacked, even after ICE agents were mobbed and attacked in Minneapolis this morning. Border Patrol Commander Bovino is still charging ahead with immigration raids like nothing happened. Leftist riders scream Nazis. So this is all what was happening. And all this stuff. I feel like all those people should be like, welcome. Let me see your ID. Let me see your ID. You know, disturbing the peace, you know, disorderly conduct, whatever, screaming and yelling like banshees. But like, how many of these people do you think are really from that town or around that town? I remember the busing in during that thing, that Alabama election, when all those buses showed up and all the people getting off of them to protest weren't even from there. That's how I think that's happening everywhere. It's like that woman's car not being from Minnesota, being from Missouri. But yeah, look at this. Lunatics, man. I mean, like, I gotta cut this down. It's like you wonder if a lot of these agents don't have earplugs in their ears. Like, how could you sit there and just listen to that for hours upon hours? It's just crazy. Look at this hero.
You gonna do an interview?
And the irony too that doesn't is not lost on me. Do you remember when Biden was president and you couldn't even go down and ask Border Patrol a question? They were instructed not to even talk to media. Remember that? And none of these people batted an eye. None of them said, "Where's the transparency?" None of them called Biden a dictator, Mr. Otto Penn himself. But remember, they couldn't even talk to the press.
Ugly on you. That head look real ugly on you, you bitch. I gotta make sure I got the red kid, bitch. Red kid.
Real tough. What they're dealing with. Yep. Like, look at, count this, 10, 20, 30, what, maybe 40 people. And that people act like now it's crazy. We'll get to a clip of that, what they're trying to again drum up a George Floyd 2.0, in my opinion. Enough of that. It's giving me a damn headache. Let's see. Yep, here it is. Look, protesters chant, "Say her name." Look, see, say her name. Say it. Remember this? Huge crowds gathered. Shooting site where ICE agent killed 37-year-old mother. See this dude right here, too? Killed 37-year-old mother. Again, killed like so. I don't like the framing. Her family says she wasn't even a protester, just terrified and trying to leave. Okay, Mario. Trying to leave. All right. Say her name. Ashley Babbitt. Ashley Babbitt. Imagine being somebody that lives in one of these houses. Holy crap. Look, here we go. Let's jump a little bit. What is this? Like candles for like they're Catholics or something. These people don't even believe in God most of the time.
I don't know how.
I don't know here.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, look a little Justin Long Antifa person there. Where is Andy No when you need him? The Republic Voices, yeah. That's what's happening. Identified as Mims' eye shooting victim. See how remember this dude. Remember what he's doing here. He's the only one that puts on these X panels with like I think he's done some with like even Elon, all this and that. Look at how he's doing this. He's framing this as she's a victim and all this other shit. Just remember that shit, these people. And then the city has burned before. Your mayor and your governor let this happen. There's this. That's what I mean, George. Look at this.
This city has burned before, and your mayor and your governor let it happen. President Trump is not going to let that happen. He and our federal law enforcement officers are here to bring peace and to bring public safety and to ensure that criminal activity is stopped and that people who perpetuate it will face consequences. This city has burned before, and your mayor and your governor let it happen. President.
This good. Just nailed it straight to the wall. Look, run over. Look, here we go.
FAFO, but also my condolences. But let me just say this. If you try to run over a federal agent, you will get shot. Stop trying to spread this propaganda like ICE did something wrong. Move. FAFO, but also my condolences. But let me...
I mean, there it is. And then another win. So this is happening while all this is going on. Scraping House proposal to grant pesticide manufacturers immunity marks another early 2026 win for American health. Full statement of Washington, D.C., the Independent Medical Alliance, the nation's leading coalition of independent physicians, healthcare providers, and medical research today praised Congress for scraping a provision from the EPA appropriations bill that would have granted pesticide manufacturers immunity from lawsuits stemming from harm caused by their products. If pesticides are harming Americans through the food supply, there must be accountability. Now let that sink in for a minute. This is huge. IMA President, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jovis Varon, the quiet insertion of an immunity clause tells the public everything it needs to know. Companies do not seek legal shields unless they fear what full transparency and accountability might reveal. The provision, Section 453 of the fiscal year 2026 Interior Environment Related Agencies Appropriations Bill, was added last year and then removed this week following mounting pressure from consumer advocates and healthcare reform organizations, including IMA. Critics warned the language would have insulated chemical manufacturers from liability while stripping Americans of their ability to seek recourse for real and documented health harms. We've seen this immunity playbook before, Varon concluded. The result was the careless deployment of mRNA technologies that continue to fuel serious health problems for millions of Americans. Congress was right to stop history from repeating itself. So this stuff is happening while this, all this other stuff is going on. Just FYI. Let me post this and bookmark it. And then this is Nick Shirley, showed up on the Full Send podcast about the Somalian fraud stuff. I'll let him say what he has to say here. Kind of know some of
So
this.
within one day, we estimated $110 million.
What in the fuck?
And what about like the total?
The guy in my video, David, he estimates it's around anywhere from 80 to 100 billion. The government right now is saying anywhere upwards of 9 billion.
9 billion.
And the crazy thing is that this money, so they receive it, and it's called CCAP funding. And it's federal and state money. And so these people receive the money. It's tax exempt.
Yep.
And then there's the rumors of it going back in the hands of Al-Shabaab, the terrorist organization in Somalia. And so they then get that money. They take it to the airports. There's a video from 2017 of Fox News covering millions of dollars going through TSA, millions of dollars in cash. And so what they...
Hey, on Epsy posted something. Hang on, let me see what this is. Sorry if I don't catch all y'all, because I'm trying to do this and that thing. Yeah. Pam played this earlier about the saying that she was intentionally blocking.
They
We'll play
clearly
it, though.
wanted her out of there because she was the main car leading the protest, is my understanding. I talked to another guy who was driving behind her, but she was very successful in blocking traffic. She was doing what she was set out to do, and so they wanted to get her the hell out of there. Yeah.
So it looked like she was impeding ICE vehicles.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay.
That was her goal. They clearly.
Yep. Good one. I will retweet that as well. All right. Thank you for that. That's another thing I had pulled. That's that one. We'll get to source in a minute. Oh, that one. I think I can close that one. Know some of these windows. Look, you imagine. I did that. I did that. Go here. Okay, he did this. All right.
They do is they then go to Atlanta and then they go to Dubai. And then from Dubai, they can then send that money tax-free without it getting traced in Dubai to Somalia or anywhere they'd like.
Let's not last a little bit again. Hold on a minute.
From 2017 of Fox News, the terrorist organization in Somalia. And so they then get that money, they take it to the airports. There's a video from 2017 of Fox News covering millions of dollars going through TSA, millions of dollars in cash. And so what they do.
And you tell me an American citizen can't travel with $10,000, but they're flying with millions, and nobody's doing anything. No, I'm sorry, but we got a TSA for what?
Is they then go to Atlanta and then they go to Dubai. And then from Dubai, they can then send that money tax-free without it getting traced in Dubai to Somalia or anywhere they'd like.
So what's going on with Atlanta? Largest airport. I mean, I've been to Atlanta to pick up my niece and nephews. My sister went on to go to her honeymoon in Italy. And I mean, I have hip replacements. They treated me like I had daggum a bomb on my ass. They dusted my fingers. They took me in a room and scanned, and I didn't even get on a plane. I was just there picking somebody up. Just FYI. Then this, talking about Venezuela. We'll go a little Venezuela here. This is long. Let me get back to that. See, this is what I'm saying. This dude's so back and forth. I don't know about all this. Oh, I saw this from Sweden, which was crazy. Look at all the Islam. It's happening everywhere. I have a couple videos I had keyed up for tonight. Stuff going on, even in Japan, which is crazy to me. Japan. It's like, well, there it is. I mean, and then this breaking the car job, public gathering under way, blah blah. Now I have to look this up because I was going to do it earlier. Hang on. Just to be, I don't know, because I don't want to show y'all something and not know my daggum self. Let's just see what this exactly it says. Let's see. Tehran. In Iran. Okay, yep. That's what I thought. But there it is. All this is happening while they're worried about some daggum freaking Antifa light lady, standing in front of an ICE agent. This is what's happening. And that. Oh yeah, look. I should have scrolled down a little bit. There we go. On a map. That's hilarious. Okay, my bad. All I had to do was scroll down a little bit. Okay, and then this breaking Reddit. This is crazy too. Listen, because Reddit, man. Reddit's either good or Reddit's really bad. Reddit users are issuing a fiery call to action, directing their message at conservatives, Republicans, political apologists, and non-voters, saying, "Her blood is on your hands. It's time to shut this country down, and nobody should show up to work tomorrow." Like anybody of these people on Reddit go to work. They're the ones scamming America out of the PPP loans. Give me a break. Then I saw this. Pixels posted this. "I would bet good money the same woman celebrated the assassination of Charlie Kirk and watched the video over and over. This woman says that she'd be driving around looking to interfere with ICE operations in Charlotte, and now she's horrified. Maybe she should stop then."
All right, you guys, I just watched the video of the woman in Minneapolis. Don't go watch it, okay? If you don't think you can handle it. It is the most frightening thing I have seen in a long time.
Listen to this propaganda.
This woman
Doesn't matter.
was driving away in her car, and
What was in front of her, driving away, what was standing in front of her,
they put their weapon in there and hit her in the face.
in there.
multiple
And
times.
where? Where'd they put it in?
This is not right.
Nope.
This was not self-defense.
She shouldn't have done it.
This was an execution.
Oh, okay.
I am shocked because only a few weeks ago, I was driving around
Listen to
this
this.
town that I live in Charlotte, doing very similar things, looking for ICE agents, trying to prevent them from kidnapping people off the street.
Kidnapping. No, it's
And
kidnapping criminals.
There was a lot of other people out there doing that on a daily basis, as is our right to drive around the streets of our city. It's frightening
It's your right to interfere with law enforcement. Do you know that?
right now. Please be peaceful in your protests and don't give them any excuse, because it doesn't look like they need any right now. I cannot believe that they just took this woman's life, a U.S. citizen, for no reason.
No reason. Absolutely no reason at all. Mm-mm. And look, Iran brings down giant Islamic Republic flag during protests amid growing signs the regime is about to fall. All this is going on while they're crying about this crap that happened. Look at this. Pretty crazy stuff going on. Oh yeah, I was watching this one more time because it's so good.
This my shit. All girls don't feel like this. Few times been around that track, so it's not just gonna happen like.
Ain't no holla back, girl. I'm sorry. Then this one was I started to key this up and play more of this hearing, but I thought maybe y'all had already seen this today. You noticed that we were all watching these when Biden was in office. Without Trump has took office, I don't see as many people ever watching these hearings, like stuff that happens in the Senate. It's almost like, I'm not worried about it. Trump's president, but
employees. Since then, their expressed fear of retaliation has intensified under.
And then this weird, this happened in Minnesota today while all this was going on as well, while the fraud was being exposed. We got to have a Minnesota victim.
Employees. Since then, their expressed fear of retaliation has intensified under an avalanche of fraud in Minnesota. Their numbers have grown from 480 DHS employees, both current and former, to over 1,000 across multiple state agencies. They have told me repeatedly how grateful they are to the House Fraud Prevention Committee for focusing our attention on fraud in the state programs, using their inside information while keeping them completely protected. They have explained that they live in a constant state of fear of retaliation. One only has to look at what happened to Faye Bernstein to understand why. In a very recent Newsweek article dated December 13th of 25, Ms. Bernstein, a former compliance specialist, stated, Minnesota DHS functions in the opposite manner as you would think. Employees who suggest improvements or, heaven forbid, report fraud then face significant retaliation. The messenger is shot. In 2019, Bernstein said she alerted Minnesota DHS officials to sloppy contracting practices that were not legally compliant. But it's not what most people would even consider fraud. She says she was later escorted out of the building, faced lengthy investigation, got trespassed from all DHS owned and leased properties and received involuntary transfer to another state agency.
That's what happened to whistleblowers. They got transferred. They knew all about this. See, this is the stuff they're trying to ramp up. This should tell you everyone you need to know about the media. CNN reported at the scene of an ICE shooting in Minneapolis was harassed by a masked left-wing protester. When the protester realized the reporter was from CNN, they immediately stopped and walked away. Look at this. They know who's spreading propaganda they want.
A growing smaller crowd. This is controlled. The scene spans several blocks. We are here at Portland Avenue and East 35th, but it goes at least 2 or 3 blocks.
Who are you? Who do you work
thank
for?
you.
Who do
Hold
you
on.
work
I'm
for?
sorry. We're with CNN. It's okay. Thank you. Thank you for your help. I'm sorry. I think
Help.
people are getting upset. So that is the latest here on the ground, guys, and I'm going to send it back to you. Growing small.
Yeah, that quick job. Look, back to you guys. They don't want to show you how people are treated out on the streets trying to cover the news, unless you're with propaganda media. That was very telling right there for sure. And then Jake Tapper just sits here. Well, this lady, care herself, brother lover.
Yeah, I mean, ICE has been carrying out state-sanctioned violence in our communities. We have seen them terrorize so many citizens in the 5th District and across Minnesota. And that has tragically led to this murder that we all watched on.
Again, calling this a murder. And then they talk about amping up division, creating division, Trump's dividing the country. They're literally saying all this. They don't even know the true reality of what happened. They're just like, oh, she murdered. Now she murdered.
On TV. And so it is not helpful for us to have ICE agents unlawfully carrying out.
Now ICE agents are unlawfully carrying out. This is a representative saying that now ICE is committing a crime by rounding up illegals.
These ridiculous raids that are not resulting in any sort of arrests, that have no explanation of why they are there. They are disturbing.
That's resulting in arrests that have, listen to this word salad. She said absolutely nothing.
They're there. They are disturbing peaceful communities that are just trying to live out their lives. And I join our mayor and our senator in asking them to get the heck out of our city. Yeah, I mean,
as they can commit millions, if not billions, of dollars worth of fraud. Get out of our city, get out of our state, so we can steal all the taxpayer money that we want to steal, and none of y'all can say anything about it. Remember all this stuff going on around in Minnesota, then this happens. That's just strange. Then this, by the way, this stuff was happening today. I'll see if I get back to this because there's more to this I wanted to see. This is a guy that was actually there. Alex talked to him for a minute. We'll listen to this.
Yeah, the only thing that the left out here, and especially the mayor, wishes would have happened differently is he's said that this is a
There's
white
the
woman,
video.
because if it was
Right there where he's getting hit. You can kind of see it right here. This is one of the best videos of it.
a black
Where she hit
woman or a
him.
Hispanic woman, I mean, she would have been Georgette
See right
Floyd out
there.
here. And the
That's
city
it
would
by
have
that car.
immediately
They told
struck
you
her.
she's a white liberal lesbian.
They told me that she was a white U.S. citizen, and through more informal sources, I was able to find out about her being a lesbian. But that's why they keep saying that her spouse went to the hospital, and they wouldn't say husband, or definitely weren't going to say wife.
Well, let me ask you this question. Get back to the George Floyd thing. That's key. What did she do beforehand? Maybe you asked, but they don't just chase somebody and get around her car. Like, what did she do before to have them all rush her?
Well, they were trying to pull her over because she was going after ICE agents, like following them around and harassing and which is a dangerous situation to begin with, right? When they're trying to conduct operations. So they were trying to make contact with her and get her out of the vehicle, right?
And we've seen countless videos where they're following him, even bumping him, even attacking him, and ICE goes, stop it, and lets them go.
Right. And this woman, she look, it got to the point where if the police are ordering you out of the car, driving over top of them is not the answer to that. You're getting out of the car one way or the other. She decided that she was going to, just ram straight through them because they're told that they're allowed to do that. All they have to say is, "Well, I was afraid for my life," and then the left will, coddle them and be like, "It's okay, it's okay. You can run over police officers nowadays."
Today only. Prove an election for $10,000.
Oh my God. Oh, there you go. Yeah. This is Venezuela. I'm trying to keep all these. Like I told you, I apologize. I was pulling it. Here she is. It's the trafficking alien lady. That goes to the dietary guidelines thing I was showing y'all earlier. This is all happening today.
Unfortunately, for decades, federal dollars has promoted low-quality, highly processed foods that lead to scores of long-term health issues, which means Americans have gone broke because of these health issues. Faulty dietary guidelines of the past stacked the deck against healthy eating and food options for everyday American families, which has fueled the chronic disease epidemic and jacked up the healthcare costs of households across the country. This failed approach in our public health system ends today. Unfortunately, for decades, federal dollars has promoted low-quality, highly processed foods that lead to scores of long-term health issues, which means Americans have gone broke because of these health issues. Faulty dietary guidelines of the past stacked the deck against healthy.
Oh, I want to say this, and thank you for reminding me to do this again. To put this back out there, I forget to post my donation links all the time. I try to remember, but thank you. I'm just going to say your first name, James. Thank you, James, for my donation. You're the first one I have received in almost 2 months. So thank you. Appreciate it. Let me put this back out there. I don't want to dox anybody. I'm just careful. I try to be careful when I say, I don't want to call it the dox y'all guys or anything like that. I think first name is okay. I'll put that there and there. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. All right, so let's get back to this. But that's what I mean by like the calling out of the poisoning of the food, stuff like that is hugely important. Again, this stuff is going on. It matters. It matters. With the housing and the food, we got to hit this at every angle, right?
Eating and food options for everyday American families, which has fueled the chronic disease epidemic and jacked up the healthcare costs of households across the country. This failed approach in our public health system ends today. Unfortunately, for decades, federal.
Okay, now let me pull this, see what this is. Yeah, oh my God, look at this. Breaking huge protest in Minnesota against ICE shooting. What is this? It's a freaking George Floyd 2.0. That's what this is. Look at this. How quickly can we bust in enough people to do it again? The winter of love. Tell me this wasn't organized. This is like one of them situations where it's like, hey, if we can get them to pop off, I feel like this is one of the situations like I say, if we can get them to pop off today and do something to one of these protesters, we're going to send out the message and all y'all need to show up. Like, this happened how many hours ago? You think all these people are from around this place in Minnesota? I highly doubt. Yeah, that's not happening. All right. Yeah, that's enough of that. We know what's happening. We all know what's happening. Yeah, and he says it best right here.
All the political actors seem to be weighing in. The president has weighed in. The governor of Minnesota and the mayor of Minneapolis have weighed in and effectively called this guy a murderer. They don't know that. I mean, there's obviously 2 points of view, and I assume there's going to be more facts that we're all going to learn in the days and weeks ahead. But it's pretty apparent this guy was standing in front of a vehicle and somebody accelerated it at him. How this shakes out in the legal system, I don't know. I do know this: the president's been a strong proponent of standing up for these ICE agents and other federal law enforcement who have been, in fact, under assault from protesters since he took office, and instructed them to simply enforce federal immigration law. And we have seen, in my opinion, a lot of irresponsible rhetoric over the year from Democratic officials like Tim Walz, who have called them Gestapo and murderers and everything else. And so there are consequences to that kind of language, and I think we're seeing that play out today. Well, all the political actors seem to be weighing.
And that's the point. Let me see what Rising posted here. That is the point. Like calling them Gestapo and all this other stuff. Yeah, we played that earlier. The witness. Let's see. Yeah, I saw this too, but I think I have it in my thing. But in case we don't, breaking the wife of Renee Nicole Good, the 37-year-old Minneapolis shooting victim, was attempting to run over an ICE officer. Appears to have been outside the vehicle filming as her wife blocked ICE vehicles. Yep, this one I saw earlier. She is seen wearing a flannel shirt, walking around the vehicle and recording ICE officers. She later runs back to the vehicle to check on Renee. Afterwards, she tells a nearby man, "That's my wife." When he asks if she knows any of her wife's relatives she could call, she responds, "We're new here. I don't have people. I can't even breathe right now." Why was she outside the vehicle filming her wife while she was blocking ICE officers? Like, that's what I'm talking about. This whole scenario is just weird. Like, that's supposedly her wife. And see, and then runs towards it.
This lady got blood.
Oh, here's this.
She was in the car with her, bro.
Which what she says right here. It's what's weird to me.
Or she tried to save her or something. Somebody. Hey, was you riding with her? Did you call any of your peoples yet?
We're new here. I don't have.
So you don't got none of her family members or anybody number? Do you know anybody on her Facebook?
I can't even think right now. Like the answer there is just weird to me. Like I know shock, and regardless of how you feel about this situation, like, you know, that's gotta be crazy. But like we're new here. Like I don't know. I don't feel like those people were from there. I could be wrong, but something screams to me like professional agitator for sure. Oh, this is about the Somalians on welfare. Remember, all this stuff's going down. Minnesota's place to be.
Open for 4 years under Joe Biden. They were trying to rush as many future Democrat voters into America as possible. And with this particular community, the Somali community, it appears over 75%. 75%, Maria, of the Somali population in America is on full welfare benefits. You know, the argument to letting people into the United States has always been, we need workers, we need workers. For whatever reason, this particular community, which is a major flank in the Democrat Party, a major part of their Democrat base, they are milking the system. And what we're going to see in Minnesota today, I think, is going to outrage every hardworking, tax-paying American. We're open for 4 years.
We got to distract everybody from seeing that hearing. Weird if something would happen in Minnesota that would make Minnesota the victim. That's crazy. That's crazy. This is about this. Oh my God, after moving to ban the corporate ownership of single family homes, so I was talking about Trump is now taking on defense contractors, banning dividends and stock buybacks as executives make a fortune off taxpayers. He's on a generational run right now. And this is look at that. United States defense contractors, defense industry as a whole, beware. While we make the best military equipment in the world, no other country is even close. Defense contractors are currently issuing massive dividends to their shareholders and massive stock buybacks at the expense and detriment of investing in plants and equipment. This situation will no longer be allowed or tolerated. Also, executive pay packages in the defense industry are exorbitant and unjustifiable given how slowly these companies are delivering vital equipment to our military and our allies. Salaries, stock options, and every other form of compensation are far too high for these executives. Defense companies are not producing our great military equipment rapidly enough, and once produced, not maintaining it properly or quickly. From this moment forward, these executives must build new and modern production plants, both for delivering and maintaining this important equipment and for building the latest models of future military equipment. Until they do so, executives should be allowed to make an access. No executive should be allowed to make an excess of $5 million, which is as high as it sounds, is a mere fraction of what they are making now. Additionally, the maintenance and repair of equipment once sold is far too slow and must be immediately enhanced. As president, I am demanding that maintenance be spot on time. Therefore, I will not permit dividends or stock buybacks for defense companies until such time as these problems are rectified. Likewise, for salaries and executive compensations, military equipment is not being made fast enough. It must be built now with the dividend, stock buybacks, and overcompensation of executives rather than borrowing from financial institutes or getting the money from your government. Longer term, this is good for both executive shareholders because it will be great for our country. Thank you for attention to this matter. Make America great again. Now, like, oh, you mean you get loans and grants and I'm paying myself, $15 million this year, but can I get a loan? Can I get a whoop whoop loan? Yep. And then there's Quality Learning Centers officially closes down. All this is going on today. Well, all this crap happened with that lady. After being accused of fraud in viral Nick Shirley video, the Somalian-run daycare, which featured a misspelling on its sign, has closed down according to the Minnesota Department of Human Services licensing record. Remember, again, I need to point this out again. This stuff was found years ago. People tried to tell the authorities about all this stuff for a long time. The guy that Nick Shirley was with had been investigating it for years. They intentionally didn't do a daggum thing about this. So all this feigning ignorance, all this crying by Tim Walz, why he allowed all this stuff to go on in his state, is not lost, should not be lost on anyone. I don't care where you fall on the political spectrum, left, right, center, wherever. This is wrong. A country in debt. I wonder. Oh yeah, see, I had this pulled. She was talking about her blocking ICE vehicles. There's an image of the. Oh, look at that. Is that a dent? Wonder what made that dent. No, maybe that's just a shadow to make it look like a dent. I don't know. That does kind of look like a dent right here, though. I don't know. Oh man. Oh, he's the same one earlier that. Oh wait a minute. He was the same one earlier calling her a victim, was blocking ICE vehicles. Huh. Stories don't match up. Well, we should tweet out some crap calling ICE agents, making them feel like they did something wrong. Again, I'm sorry if these are a little bit out of whack. I'm just going to run through them, though. I think y'all can keep up. This is about the processed food and stuff. This is huge. Stuff going on with Maha is huge.
The idea that a cheap meal made of processed food is cheap is an illusion, because you're paying for it on the back end. You're paying for it with diabetes, with obesity, with illness. And if you internalize that cost of the meal, it would be a tiny fraction of the long-term cost of eating bad food.
So we'll take one.
The idea that a cheap meal made of processed food is cheap is an illusion, because you're paying for it on the back end. You're paying for it with diabetes, with obesity, with illness. And if you internalize that cost of the meal, it would be a tiny fraction of the long-term cost of eating bad food.
So we'll take one.
The idea that a cheap meal made of processed food is cheap is an illusion, because you're paying for it on the back end. You're paying for it with diabetes, with obesity.
That's so smart to say that. You think, healthy food's more expensive, but, what is it at the cost of your health? We'll make it affordable, That's the whole point. You grow a garden, learn how to make a cellar. We got it. Let me bring some prepping back on here. Okay, let's go with old Pete.
Yeah, I want to emphasize that question from CNN. The question's never asked how much does it cost when they're in the Mediterranean or the Red Sea or the Indian Ocean or the Pacific. But now that they're in our hemisphere on a counter-cartel mission or ensuring that an indicted individual comes to justice, now you're asking the question of cost. It's a disingenuous question to begin with. You're trying to find any angle possible to undermine the success of one of the most historic military missions the world has ever seen. The level of sophistication that Senate just was briefed on and the House was briefed on, a classified level, is something only the United States of America can accomplish. The world is taking notice of that. Certainly Venezuela is taking notice of that. And it continues because 2 oil tankers, 2 overnight, were seized by the United States of America, stateless or sanctioned, because the oil blockade, the quarantine of oil out of unsanctioned or sanctioned or stateless vessels continues. That leverage will continue as Secretary Rubio outlined. So our military is prepared to continue this. As he said, the president, when he speaks, he means it. He's not messing around. We are an administration of action to advance our interests, and that is on full display. We're happy to brief the House and the Senate.
They don't know what to do. Joe Biden put a $25 million wanted poster out there for him, but Trump goes and gets him, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, you're actually enforcing something? Oh, what a tyrant. Whatever. And this is Venezuela, the root cause of the migrant cry here. Listen to this.
It's that whole notion of it doesn't matter which option they choose, it's wrong. Because if you deposed all of these people, then it's nation building. And Marjorie Taylor Greene gets to star. And you do it this way, and it's like, you're leaving everything in place. Why are you leaving everything in place?
And there's almost like a hypocrisy to what they're saying is or isn't America first, where they'll say, oh, this stuff isn't America first, and it's what you went against and all this stuff. But at the same time, they'll also claim it's American imperialism. Wouldn't like an empire puts itself first and then builds and stuff like that? So like there's this cognitive dissonance about what they're saying is America first and what is not America first.
Here's one point that that's gotten lost in all of this. And I'm so happy that Rubio made it when he was sitting with Kristen Walker, which was that the Chavista regime is in and of itself a root cause of the migrant crisis.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Many millions of Venezuelans have left the country.
8 million.
Since Chavismo took over, and they've sought harbor in other countries. Colombia absorbed, at the outset, was like 5 million. Now it's down to 3 million Venezuelans in many of these other countries. And of course, many of them fled into the U.S. when Biden flung the border open. That is a root cause. We are dealing with the root cause of the migrant crisis. But that doesn't get reported in media because it makes Democrats look bad. That makes Biden look bad. So we have to fall back on these other things. Ultimately, anything that can reinforce Orange Man bad is what's going to get play in the media.
There you go. That sums it up. So, gives into that. Oh, this is right now. George and Alex Soros and Reid Hoffman are making calls. You can bet on that. They want another George Floyd. They want chaos. 2026 isn't 2020. People won't stand for it. That's like another thing. Is like so much has been exposed over the last decade. So many people have been woke up after COVID, after the George Floyd, Summer of Love, after CHOP being locked down, talking about they don't want border walls, but it's okay for, them to put up walls there and like in CHOPed and hand out firearms out of trunks of cars to, kids. They didn't have any problem with the Second Amendment then. It's just the hypocrisy. People are getting it. Yep. See, I knew I thought I had that tag, but there she is. There's the wife. What was the wife of that lady? Let's see if it's. I think it's about the same.
Get the fuck out of our neighborhood.
Who's cussing our neighborhood?
This lady got blood. They don't. She was in the car with her, bro.
Let me watch that. Yeah, but that's crazy. I'm gonna leave that one. I'm gonna need it. But look, yep, here's this is one shot I had. Aerial footage shows a large crowd gathering at the site where 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good was killed in an ICE-involved shooting in Minneapolis. But look at this. Look at this again. Look at this. Got the memorial thing set out there, like it's Princess Diana. Like it is tragic. Like I hate that that lady lost her life. I don't celebrate anybody losing their life. It's horrible. Well, unless you're like a pedophile, but or harm elderly people, whatever, you know what I mean? But it's like, I swear they take the file folder out of the cabinet and say, flip it back to page 4 years ago. That George Floyd 2.0. And I want to know where all these people are from. Because it is crazy to me. It's crazy to me. We're watching this play out again. But hopefully now people are smarter. They're not going to stand for it. Well, I was all around a tree. Okay. All right. Anyway, it is just nuts to me. Again, I hate that lady lost her life, but don't stand in front of a daggum. Don't try to run over an ICE agent.
You know, it's clearly established law that a vehicle driven by a person and used to harm someone is a deadly weapon. Deadly force is perfectly lawful when a threat is faced by a weapon. So I do believe that this officer used his training in this situation, and we'll let the FBI continue the investigation to get it resolved. You know, it's clearly established law that a vehicle driven by a person and used to harm someone is a deadly weapon. Deadly force is perfectly...
That's what I'm talking about. Anybody knows is this dude. This was good too. Sprinkling some of these make you feel better.
Just so that I could put the whole, is this what you voted for question to bed, retiring that question, I'm going to let it be known that I voted for Trump so he could do whatever he wants. Okay? I voted for him to do whatever he wants. After all he's been through for this country and for all that he's delivered for us, yo, Trump, you can do whatever you want. And if there is a way for him to get a third term, I'm all for it. I will vote for him again. He's earned that right with me. He has the next generation's best interest at heart. Everybody's playing for short term. Let me get you. Let me be an obstructionist. Let me get in your way. Like, if he doesn't deliver everything that he wants in this term and he's up for re-election, they saying it's unconstitutional. If they gonna make a new amendment, whatever it is, whatever it takes, I will vote for him again. Call me delusional, call me whatever you want. He's earned that right. Whenever I wake up, see truth, or see that he's done something crazy like what he did with Venezuela, I'm like, yo, I ain't even think of that. But I agree. I'm riding with my dog. So all y'all keep asking that question, is that what you voted for? Yo, listen, I voted for him to do whatever he wants. So he could do whatever he wants. I'm going to be by his side, riding with him. Just so that I could...
Yep, riding with my homies. There you go. I'm going to play this one more time. You're like, I just thought this was so cool. I saw this Stephen Miller.
I wanna hold them like they do in Texas, please.
Keeping it. Because he tweeted domestic terrorism. I'll go find his thing. This too, USAID was not just an apple with a few worms inside. It was a festering ball of worms in the shape of an apple. USAID was funding both the Wuhan lab gain of function research and the Smartmatic election systems. Do you think it was a coincidence that COVID came right around the 2020 election? Coincidentally, the same left-wing billionaires, NGOs, and USA also funded the No Kings protest, aka the Color Revolution across America. This means that USAID was simultaneously funding both the election rigging technology that would steal the 2020 election while manufacturing and releasing a weaponized virus that would distract the world from the theft of said election while depopulating the planet at the same time. It was all connected. Everything is out in the open and face up on the table. I don't even know what to say anymore. You can be this naive. You can't be this naive anymore. We can't live under this fraud and tyranny anymore. Americans are suffering and everyone else is robbing you blind and getting filthy rich. Maybe I'll do this tomorrow night. Maybe I'm going to bookmark this. Maybe get into this. See. I don't think there's any audio. I think it just scrolls down. Yeah, so maybe I'll look into that. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see what that's about. And then, like, this is this dude. I swear, I think they're so tough.
There's little I can say, again, that'll make this situation better, but I do have a message for our community, for our city, and I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get the fuck out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here.
Tough.
Your stated reason for being in this city is to create some kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite. People are being hurt. Families are being ripped apart. Long-term Minneapolis residents that have contributed so
Yeah, why don't you ask the people that live in Minneapolis, or let's just say Minnesota as a whole, about what happened to your crime rate? What's happened to innocent Minnesotians whenever they're faced with illegals that rob them, bash their car windows out, steal the crap right out of their cars? But what happened to all that? They don't care about Minnesotans when that stuff's happening. Apparently, it's only when law enforcement actually comes in and try and does their job. Like he has just he has snipped the handcuffs off of the law enforcement officers there right now. Police officers, you saw what happened to them. They were ran off by protesters.
greatly to our city, to our culture, to our economy, are being terrorized, and now somebody is dead. That's on you. And it's also on you to leave.
What?
It's on you to make sure that further damage, further loss of life and injury is not done. We're going to be.
It's not up to the mayor, Jacob Frey, to make sure that laws are enforced in his town. The criminals, free reign. Law-abiding citizens, get in your house and shut up. That's what that is. Then I saw this Black Hawk spotted over here near Minneapolis as the National Guard prepares for deployment. Things are getting very tense out here. Yeah, and after what Tim Walz said, if that's not a call to, that's just crazy what he said. No reinforcement, you hope. This idiot.
Of nature, if it's a global pandemic, or in this case, if it is a rogue federal agent. I don't know
Rogue.
this time, and I want to be very
Calls him a rogue federal agent. Remember, he was also calling him Gestapo. He said the most divisive things about ICE and HSI that a person could say, and now he's doing it again. Rogue.
very careful.
The dude that all this fraud was going on in his state didn't do anything.
It's unprecedented.
Look at this.
That we have,
Look at the sign language. Look at this. I'm gonna back up. Look at this.
and I want to be very careful.
What is this? What is this?
It's unprecedented that we have the federal government
facial
trying to determine
expressions
exactly
and the
what's happened
tongue
here and
thing.
the motives of an individual that we don't even know the name. They don't know the name, and that's very difficult. So, of nature, if it's a global pandemic, or in this case,
What is up with the facial stuff going on, man? It's crazy. Okay, anyway. Here we go again. Here's some more of this.
And bury it.
And one of those people that's the center of that fraud story in Minnesota is Attorney General Keith Ellison. And he's now put out a statement on this ICE incident. It reads as follows. For weeks, we watched the Trump administration deliberately brutalize our communities. And now an ICE agent has fatally shot one of our neighbors. The president is deliberately weaponizing the federal government against the people of Minnesota to inflict pain and instill terror. We must stand up to this horrendous injustice. And in so doing, we must not stoop to Donald Trump's.
Remember Keith Ellison? He also said he was, basically the bulldog, the bodyguard for Obama. Like he'd do whatever Obama, Mr. Attorney General, that dude, that guy, the Fast and Furious Keith Ellison. Is that who we're talking about?
Level. Right now, I think nothing would keep Minnesotans safer than seeing ICE leave our state and take their chaos, pain, and violence with them. What strikes me there, Nick, is not a plea to the people of Minnesota to avoid destruction. It's not a plea to people to keep from turning protester into rioter. It's not a plea to avoid the same situation after George Floyd. It is the same thing asked for by Jacob Frey. It is, in order to avoid the escalation of violence, leave ICE. In essence, then, therefore, Nick, that is a threat. It is a threat to the federal government. It can be read no other way, and especially when you combine it with the governor, Governor Walz's statement about he has at his disposal the National Guard.
Yeah, absolutely. And what they're going to do is they're going to, it's in a way, it's quietly encouraging violence against and saying that it's okay to commit violence against these ICE agents by blatantly saying, you've seen the video from the front angle where the ICE agent was clearly hit by the vehicle and had to defend himself in some way, right? But the way that they're trying to do this is when an ICE agent ends up being killed, which is a very high probability, especially with all the violence being stoked by public officials, they're going to say, look, we told you guys to leave. It's your fault that people are killing you in the streets now. That's what's coming. And it's sickening to say, but the writing's on the wall, Will.
We also have, by the way, a statement from the one-time mayoral candidate, Somali.
Dynamics, I see you, but you have got to stop like demanding people answer you. Like you can make your comments in chat, but you go out there and you're like, answer if SoCo won't like people. That's not going to get you a response, hon. If we know buses are rolling, carrying outside answers, I don't know. You have to ask the people. Maybe it's because Tim Walz and that Fry guy is the one running those states. That's a question for the people that actually has to give the law enforcement the ability to go, track that stuff down or do an investigation into it. Because technically, the feds can't get involved unless it's like, they're brought in some kind of cross-state crimes, which I guess technically you consider it cross-state if they're busting in from other states. But I don't know. Let's see. Went to Minneapolis, Hilton. Oh, this is that Hilton stuff that was on. I saw some of this the other day. He was talking about it.
All right, and wish me luck.
I don't know much about this story. I'm not really dug into it, but apparently they were banning.
That is straight up black eye.
He's talking about a exclusive. I went to the Minnesota Hilton, who apologized for banning DHS agents, exposed them for continuing to ban DHS. There was an argument about whether or not Hilton had pushed back on it or said they didn't agree with it. But like I read the community notes on it that said that they didn't do that until these videos started coming out. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I should read. I'll read this first. I went to the Minnesota Hilton, who apologized for banning DHS agents, exposed them for continuing to ban DHS agents at Hilton hotels. So at least, he tagged them in it, has decided they want the full Bud Light treatment at this point. Hilton's operator, Everpeak, straight up lied in their statement yesterday, which said they were in touch with DHS to accommodate impacted agents and do not discriminate against any individuals or agencies. None of that was true. There was no attempt to reach DHS agents to make it right, per Assistant DHS Secretary Tricia McLaughlin. Even the front desk manager said he had spoken with the owner shortly before I walked in around 10:50 p.m. and confirmed that anti-DHS policy remained in effect. Revoke their license, Hilton, or it's going to cost you dearly. You've been warned. I don't know about that, all that threatening stuff, but there you go. Hey, we vote with our wallets.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
Good. Do you have any rooms for tonight?
You should, yeah.
Okay. Like how many? Could we get like 10?
10?
I know that might be.
What'd that say?
How are you?
Good, how you doing?
Good. Do you have any rooms for tonight?
You should, yeah.
Okay. Like how many? Could we get like 10?
I verified 10 rooms were available prior to walking in. Yep, that's where he shows it, where 10 rooms. Okay.
10?
I know that might be.
Did you already make reservations by any chance?
No.
No? What's the name?
It would be just Nick. I'll just put it under my personal. I don't know if you can use a government rate or not, but.
Let's see. It depends because there's a lot of stuff going on right now. Is it what agency is it for? Using the government rate?
They'd be Department of Homeland Security.
So you're not accepting people from immigration, ICE agents, DHS into our property. It's just our management ownership.
Okay, I thought that changed today. Was that?
I just talked to my the owner of the building, and he didn't say there has been any changes. So
Really? Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it's just policy, you know.
Yeah, I mean
they
that's
said.
not your fault. Totally,
Yeah.
totally.
Policy discrimination is
Get
policy.
that. So they actually said that was like, I mean, honestly, this is the most convenient location. So
Right.
it's like, so they told you no, that there's no.
Yeah, no immigration.
Well,
I-
DHS isn't all.
Yeah.
Immigration. But, okay.
So,
Okay. So even with the thing that they said earlier, where they mentioned that there was a statement that they put out, you know, saying that they accept everybody and.
I haven't been informed. I could call my owner right now if you want.
Yeah,
and ask him what's.
That'd probably be good. Just trying
Yeah.
to figure it out. So because it's somebody said, I didn't know it was this location, but Ever Peak Hospitality, right?
I'm new here,
Okay.
so I don't really know what's.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I'll just call him. Ask
Yeah,
him,
that's
see
that's
what's.
not a pretty good idea.
There's been any.
Just to be clear, like I'm
Right,
not
no,
trying to
yeah,
cause
I
any
understand.
problems. It's just
Right,
like
no,
it's
yeah.
11 o'clock now,
Right.
so
Yeah.
you know,
I
just
get it.
checking.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
Okay, thank you.
Dude pretends to be attempting phone calls for several minutes, hoping I just leave, but that ain't me. I don't know if I'd put that to it.
So nobody's answering my calls right now.
Okay.
Because of the time. But.
Gotcha. Okay, so this is Everpeak though, and they said Everpeak Hospitality has moved swiftly to address this matter as it was inconsistent with our policy of being a welcoming place for all. We are in touch with the impacted guests to ensure they are accommodated. We don't discriminate against any individuals or agencies and apologize to those impacted. Yeah, we are. It's kind of long. I don't know. I was kind of surprised. I thought we were good to go. Like I said, not everybody with DHS is immigration. That's just
Right. Yeah, I get that, but it's you know.
It's also a fraud investigation. I guess we'll just say as well. But,
Yeah, but.
okay. No problem at all. Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No problem. Not your
They
fault.
answer the phone, you know, but.
All right. So they lied. Hilton and the Hampton Inn out here in Everpeak Hospitality lied. Full of shit. And now they are going to. Well, let's just say they effed around and it's find out time. They almost got a little bit of a pass the first time, right? You thought they may have learned their lesson. And this is why I said that their talk it means nothing. You know, people were saying, oh, well, no, they said that they're going to change their policy. They lied. They didn't do it. So, they're now going to get Bud Lighted. Congratulations, Hilton. You can take Hilton. You can take your name off that sign tomorrow. Today, you could do it. But we'll see if you will.
That's why the people on the street, man, are so, they're so worthwhile out there and just ask them themselves and see what happens. So that was pretty good because I've seen stuff be reported about it both ways where they had issued, and he showed it in his video where they issued. Let me
So
see if I
even
can
with
find it.
I haven't been informed.
Hilton, in a statement from a spokesperson, said Hilton hotels serve as welcoming places for all. This hotel is independently owned and operated, and the actions referenced are not reflective of Hilton's values. We are investigating this matter with this individual hotel and can confirm that Hilton works with governments, law enforcement, community leaders around the world to ensure our properties are open and inviting to everyone, the spokesperson said. And so, like, at least he inserted that too into the video, which I think is helpful. And this is what he was reading from. Everpeak Hospitality reaffirms commitment to welcoming all guests and agencies. Everpeak Hospitality has moved swiftly to address the matter as it was inconsistent with our policy of being a welcoming place for all. We are in touch with the impacted guests to ensure they're accommodated. We do not discriminate against any individuals or agencies and apologize to those impacted. We're committed to welcoming all guests and operating in accordance with brand standards, applicable laws, and our role as professional hospitality provider. That's Everpeak Hospitality. And then, they didn't let him rent the rooms for DHS. that happened. Tampon Tim. Saw these memes. Tampon Tim won't do anything. The left loves hate and destruction, looking for the next headline to carry them into midterms. That is just, I mean, with the string, it's just funny. I'm sorry. That's funny, you know. And then this was happening too, where they were like going and protesting at these, let's see if I can, at these I think at the, we have just smashed the doors of the federal courthouse in downtown Minneapolis while chanting. I can't remember what the chanting was. It was cut off, but there's that. There, look at what the scarf they're wearing. And look at this. Antifa removal cart, $79.99. Arrest them all. Oh my God. The hog tying is hilarious. It is what it is. And they say this is again, that's the perpetrator. So they're saying, I guess this is the guy that initiated it. Remember during all those protests during the Summer of Love, when we shared a lot of videos on this channel where it would be like one individual would walk up all blacked out in black garb, black hoodie, black face mask, black pants, black shoe, black everything. That one that I remember specifically is like he had an umbrella in his one hand, because they always use that to try and, push people back or hide their identity or whatever. He literally just walks up to a store and busts out the window and then just like walks off. Like, literal agitators, like trying to cause destruction. It just reminds me of that. And then they want to repeat of 2020, you see, George Floyd 2.0. First, Democrats label law enforcement and Trump administration terrorists and the Gestapo. Second, this rhetoric ignites violent protest and attacks against them by their voters. Third, when the inevitable tragedy occurs, this was what I was talking about earlier, and a leftist gets seriously hurt or loses their life, they will seize the moment, create mass hysteria, and promote extremely violent and destructive protests all around the country so they can try to pin the blame on Trump despite him just enforcing the immigration laws as he was elected to do. It is a cynical and dangerous game where our law enforcement and their voters are pawns and the media is willing accomplice selling a pre-planned narrative. Like I told you, it's like the filing cabinet. They pull out the folder and say, let's just run this again, Johnny. Run it again. And this says exactly the paid coordinator wants it, what the paid coordinators want. Ignore, send in the National Guard or Marines, find out who paid her to be there and run it up the chain. Why does she have Missouri plates? If she didn't break the law multiple times, she would be alive, and no sympathy for those. I'm not going to sign off on that. I don't want anybody to lose their life. I don't care how progressive or whatever, but if you're going to stand in front of if you're going to lurch your vehicle towards law enforcement while they're standing in front of your car, is he just supposed to take that you hit him or like that? I don't understand what these people are talking about. Like, brace yourself, because I'm sure this is going to be a
maybe he wanted to shoot her. Yeah, that's like a culture in ICE that's like toxicity.
I'm not for sure.
What did you do?
Look, she says, what did you do? What did you do? How dare you?
This happened this morning, just days after Donald Trump and his administration decided to deploy 2,000 DHS agents to the city of Minneapolis for what it has marketed as a massive immigration crackdown there. The Trump administration has attempted to blame the victim of that shooting that you saw with your own eyes.
Did you hear that? They attempted to blame they don't care. Remember, you're innocent until proven guilty, not in the court of MSNBC. Nope, you're immediately, they don't care about the facts, the evidence, whatever. Let's push out the narrative we want to push. I mean, it would have been much better if she'd have been black or Hispanic, but hey, we got lesbian, so we got that.
For her death, earlier today during a press conference, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, wearing a cowboy hat, claimed that
what? See what I mean? Like, why does that matter? Wearing a cowboy hat?
The victim was engaging in
Well, you just put on your glasses. What was that? So you could look smart? Because Lord knows we know you're not smart. So that is costume jewelry?
Of, quote, domestic terrorism, and had attempted to hit agents with her car. It's a claim that bystanders law enforcement, local officials, as well as the video we just played for you, seem to dispute, at least at this hour. Learned of this shooting from your internal notes to all of us who.
There we go with those staged glasses again.
Work in this building. So first, let me thank you. But next, let me ask you to do what you've been doing all day and tell me what's happening on the ground.
Thanks, Cole. I want to set this.
Okay, I don't care. I don't care. I don't even care. I do not care. Oh, look, the post is unavailable. What happened there? Civil unrest begun in Minnesota. Like, hey, took that down. He did. That Eric dude took it down. So I don't know. Maybe that was a video from something else. I don't know. Yikes. A shitload of very important paperwork is about to disappear from Somalian learning daycare centers tonight. Oh my God. Oops, we don't know where the records are. After everything that went on with Minnesota yesterday, we looked and all the records are missing.
Unfortunately, we saw that there was important documentation, enrollment of the children, and also employee documentation that was gone.
Oh, all the evidence to show you all the kids that were coming here, all the documentation to show you that those 15 employees we said that we were paying versus that's why we needed the grant money. Just like the kind of the Pentagon. I remember a Pentagon, something happened with all the records and just so happened. Same thing with that place where there was a guy that shot a firearm and it just so happened that the one bullet pierced the computer. That's just weird how
There
this
were
happened.
also checkbooks that were ripped from our check papers that were ripped from our book. This is devastating news, and we don't know why this is targeting our Somali community, as one video made by a specific individual.
No, one video. I can't even say his name. Either the word is out and they are hiding, or they are all leaving. Things are changing here. Is that Minnesota, Steph? Hopefully. Sonny says, "Did BSB make?" I have no idea, hon. All the evidence hidden in the walls got stolen. Right. Cindy says, "Go, yay, the Landrys and change locks." Uh-oh, the video is cut and dry in favor of ICE. It is. I mean, when I saw the other angle, you could tell she hit him with the car. Yep. Yeah, the $2,200 glasses that he's got on. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, 81% of them still on full-blown social services. That's what you do 10 years after coming to a country, still milking all that. That's just weird. Yes, I am in Minnesota, near the tip of Minneapolis. Okay, that's good. Good to hear. Okay, listen to it.
This is devastating news, and we don't know why this is targeting our Somali community, as one video made by a specific individual made this all happen. We've been receiving hateful messages through our voice notes threatening us since the past couple of days, including one that happened yesterday morning when the break-in, after the break-in.
Break-in.
This is frightening and exhausting because
oh no, I don't know what happened. Hold on, that was weird. Hold on. That was weird. I tried to move my bar and it just stopped my thing. Let me get back. Sorry, guys.
when the break-in, after the break-in. This is frightening and exhausting because this is happening to us Somali communities as Somali Americans. We are supposed to stand with each other and help each other through everything that's happening.
These are the same people like Ilhan Omar that was stood at the podium in America, in Minneapolis, talking about the Somalian president and how they were so happy and they was all here to support him in America. In America. Yeah.
This is also sad that a video can cause all of this. I want to say that
It's sad that a video can cause all of this. It's not sad of the fraud of the millions and billions of dollars that they stole from American taxpayers. That's not the sad part. The sad part is whenever they get caught, they get exposed, and now they're getting backlash. Not all the money they stole. The consequences they're facing.
there are hundreds of daycares out there, Somali daycares that are out there, and we all help our children and everyone in our community.
Mind you, they had to put on these forms where they were requesting financial help from the government, but the kids that they were accepting in these daycares, they had the number exceeded the amount of children that lived in that county. Let that sink in. So let's use round numbers for the people in the back that can understand. Let's say that they had put down on their paperwork that they were providing services for 1,000 children in that community when there was only 750 living there. Like, do you see the problem? It's just, I seem to remember the same thing happening around elections when there were more people that had asked, that signed up, registered to vote or voted more than the people in the actual community. I don't know, something like that.
We have high quality daycares, and this
High
is very
quality
sad news that
daycares.
one individual who made a false claim about fraud that is happening in the daycares.
False claim about fraud. If any of y'all are in that, I'll send that link out again. If any of y'all are in the Discord server, I'm gonna put the Let's Talk one. I'm gonna pay attention. Don't, like, if you don't care, don't like spam post or whatever, like repeated stuff. But like this stuff, if y'all have anything on the let me get my invite here. Hold on. Edit my invite link. No days, no limit. All right, let me put it no longer days. Put it never. Okay, this is unlimited invitation. Copy this. Okay. This goes in the Let's Talk one. About kind of the investigation that happened 3 or 4 years ago. I have some stuff on it. I do. I think I might even have enough, but I'll put this out there anyway if y'all want to join. Here's that one. By the way, Discord's free. Doesn't cost you anything to be in there, or just get set up an account. But yeah, so there's that if y'all want to share. All right,
How engaged everyone else to come and do this to us.
Come and engage. What did he? Listen to the last thing he said.
How engaged everyone else to come and do this to us.
Has engaged everyone else to come do it to them. They're the victims. The again, it is. I don't understand how the left can win these elections when people see what they're doing. The criminals are the victims. The burglar, the robber, the assaulter, they're all the victims. The people that are victimized, they call them the perpetrator. Like, it is literally like upside down world. The writing is, what is this? Has the writing been proofread and edited? I don't even know. Oh, that's what's behind it. Look on this conventions. See what they're doing? They brought this up, this sign right here, apparently behind them. Is that what that says? Has the writing been proofread and edited? Look at this. What is that? Proofread is one run-on word, or like, wow. The Luring Center. Don't forget the Luring Center. The Luring Center. I'm gonna keep that too, because that paid protester. At least I saw this earlier. The domestic terrorist who attempted to run over an ICE agent in Minneapolis and who was met with deadly force has been identified as Renee Good, a professional paid protester out of Missouri. And then it was community noted saying that this is not Renee Good. It was taken from a 2020 Facebook post which showed multiple women and people took the wrong photo. Her picture can be found in below articles where she's also living in Minnesota. So again, that is what I do like about, let's just look into this, about community notes, because I want to be right. I don't want to just be, I don't want it to be a, I don't want to spread stuff just so I can sound right. I want to be right. Poet. She was a poet named as a Minneapolis woman shot dead by ICE in a video captures grieving wife at the scene. Oh, look, there's she. Is that petting a dog?
They just killed that lady right there in that car, y'all. Hey, was you riding with her? Did
Okay, we saw that. So anyway, it says, let's see what it says. Mother of three was okay. She was a mother of three, named by her mother, Donna Ganger. What? Wait a minute. A woman shot dead by immigration customs in Minnesota has been named as 37-year-old poet Renee Nicole Good. The mother of three was named by her mother, Donna Ganger, who spoke to the Minneapolis Star Tribune on Wednesday afternoon. So she changed her. She had a completely different name. These are the things that always make you go, right? I need to keep this up because this is the stuff that I start digging into. Like what? Okay, she was probably terrified. Ganger said the grieving mom denied reports Good would have been part of anything like the protests against ICE that were taking place at the location where she was killed. See, like, look right here. I'm going to read this again. The grieving mom denied reports that this Renee Nicole Good would have been a part of anything like the protests against ICE. Well, we know she was. We watched her. That were taking place at location. So what are you talking about? She said, that's so stupid, she said. Renee was one of the kindest people I've ever known. She was extremely compassionate. She was taking care of people all her life. She was loving, forgiving, affectionate. She was an amazing human being. Good was a poet and a mother of three children who grew up. Well, she had them three kids somehow. So was she a lesbian or not? Like, you see, these are the things that are weird. Like, is that did they call her that to get victim points? Okay, Maga Mama says her mother name was Donna Ganger. See how this read, though? Look what this read. The mother of three was named by her mother, Donna Ganger. Okay, maybe that's what I'm getting confused. Because it says the mother of three was named by her mother, Donna Ganger, who spoke to the Minneapolis Star. That's what. Well, all right, I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it, Maga Mama. Maybe that's where I don't know. Okay. Anyway, Good was a poet, mother of three, and grew up in Colorado Springs. Oh, we know what comes out of Colorado. She was married to a comedian named Timothy Macklin, who died in 2023, and now lives in Minneapolis with her partner, whose name has not been shared. She and Macklin had one child together, a 6-year-old son, who is now orphaned. We have to throw that in. His paternal grandfather told the publication there's nobody else in his life. What about y'all? What are you talking about? There's nobody else in his life. What about the grandparents that are talking to the Daily Mail? I'll drive, I'll fly to come and get my grandchild. Okay, well, all right. Good was shot 3 times in the face at a protest in Minneapolis on Wednesday after she ignored ICE agents' demands to get out of the car, reversed it, and tried to drive off. See, right here, reversed it and tried to drive off. Where is the part where there was an ICE agent or HS agent standing in front of the car when she tried to drive off? That lady looks familiar too. I don't know if she does to y'all, but that something about her looks familiar to me. I mean, been named the woman that shot dead. There again. Look at this. What is going on here? Is that her on the left? Pictured left with her sister and mother. Well, we see that right there, family. Right then. Shoot woman, confrontation. ICE claims she deliberately drove her burgundy SUV at agents, but witnesses dispute that, and Mayor Jacob Fry called it BS. Well, yeah, other witnesses said they don't dispute it. And thank God we have video evidence. I mean, thank God for the videos, because I'm sure the 40 Antifa or Antifa Light that were standing around, or BLM, whoever they were, that, I'm sure they wouldn't all say the same thing in order to frame the HSI and ICE agents as the horrible people and her as the victim. I'm sure they'd never do that. I'm sure they're all about the truth and transparency. They would never just make stuff up. The Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem described Good's actions on Wednesday as an act of domestic terrorism and defended her officer's actions. An officer of ours acted quickly and decisively and shot to protect himself and the people around him. She later confirmed ICE operations are still underway in spite of the controversy. Good is a registered voter, but her party affiliation is not listed in public record. Who cares? Video shared online captured a woman speaking to a distressed onlooker who claimed to be Good's wife and said she had a 6-year-old child. So if her husband passed away in 2023, and this is, we just now turned into 2026. Y'all feeling what I'm putting down? Hang on. See, she was married comedian named Timothy Macklin who died in 2023. So she was married to a man, had children with men, and then all of a sudden, no, let's see. Okay. Marmelo said, blah, blah, blah. Officer Barr, she later confirmed about still underway. Video shared online captured a woman speaking to a distressed onlooker who claimed to be her wife. That's my wife. I don't know what to do. The man filming the video asked if she was screaming. The screaming woman was the victim, if she had any friends who could help. See, that's the smoke coming off the shot, by the way. And people on X actually tried to share this. See, like, see his foot, see this other foot. He wasn't in front of the car. I'm like, do you understand? There's a whole front bumper over here, right? Like, just this officer's blocking your ability to see how. And that car doesn't stop right here. But anyway, whatever. It says the witness filmed the scene of the shooting. He spoke to the woman claiming to be the victim's wife. That's my wife. I have a 6-year-old at school. We're new here. We don't have anyone, she answered. So see, at first I thought, well, she met this person online, changed her life and become lesbian, and then that person was from Minnesota. That'd be one thing. But she's saying that they were new. They were new to the area. The frantic onlooker shouted, "We need a doctor." The man asked if she knew any of her wife's relatives and that she could call, but she said, "I can't even deal with that right now." For what I heard, she said no. But photos of the woman's car shown children's toys inside, including a plush animal, a child's drawing. Witnesses claim Good and her wife were acting as legal observers and filming the protest when she was shot. Well, we know the testimony of the other person that I think it was Rising that shared that. Other people have shared it too. Let me see if I can find that again. Let me go all the way back up. I think it was this one. This one. Yeah, like this one saying, oh, that she was there. We got the reports for blocking them all day.
Clearly wanted her out of there because she was the main car leading the protest, is my understanding. I talked to another guy who was driving behind her. But she was very successful in blocking traffic. She was doing what she
blocking traffic. She was very successful in blocking traffic,
and so they wanted to get her the hell out of there.
So she was successful in blocking traffic, but here she is just a legal observer filming the protesters. But when she was shot, she wouldn't do anything wrong. She wasn't parked sideways in the middle of the road. She didn't have law enforcement telling her to get out of the car, and then she tried to flee the scene. As she fled the scene, she didn't care that there was another officer standing directly in front of her. None of that happened. But ICE said she tried to use SUV as a deadly weapon. Footage of the shooting showed the victim blocking the road with her car until ICE agents told her to move away. She reversed to head back down the road as an agent tried to open its driver's side door handle before she drove off. 3 shots rang out. She tried to drive off. Well, that's some graphic imaging. The remains of the SUV with a bloodied airbag after the woman was rushed to the hospital. We got to make sure you take images of any kind of, the child stuff. Got to do all that. This right here. Why didn't they get that? See, I don't like this. You see where that's missing? Where's the other seconds of this video right here? See what they did right here? Hang on, maybe it's in there. I don't know. It says warning. I don't know if I want to play that. I don't know if I want to play it. Anyway, then this douchebag. Good lost control of the SUV and slammed into parked cars and a light pole at a high speed, prompting screams of shock and horrified onlookers. Her SUV was seen with a bullet hole through the driver's side window. How did it get the driver's side? Okay, windshield. He was right. How did it get through the front windshield if he wasn't in front of the daggum car? Anybody thought about that one? the windshields facing the front. That's where the shot went through. Just some observations there. Senator Tina Smith had earlier confirmed the victim was a U.S. citizen before Good had been publicly identified. O'Hara said nothing indicated that this woman was the target of law enforcement investigation. Nobody said any of that. Nobody said she was the target of an investigation. They said that she was obstructing justice, that she was in the way, that she was blocking cars. She was instigating all the protesting to get in the way of these agents. That's what she was doing. Her spouse had arrived at the hospital where she was pronounced dead. Department of Homeland Security, Tricia McLaughlin claimed the woman weaponized her vehicle, called her action an act of domestic terrorism. McLaughlin said the ICE agent escalated the situation because he was fearing for his own life and lives of his fellow law enforcement, safety of the public. He used his training and saved his own life and fellow officers, he said in a statement describing him as defensive shots. Protesters clashed with police after driving the vehicle was shot Wednesday. There they are. Look. By the way, when I looked at that, when I showed you the video, there was like 40, maybe, we counted earlier, maybe 40 people out there. And that's what I just quoted everything he said. There was the wife, by the way. That's what you do. You stand outside the vehicle of your wife's car while all this is going on. Make sure you stand outside. By the way, I don't know if y'all look. This looks like an open door of this car. So were they in different cars? Was she in this car and she was in this car? Why is this? You see this right here? It looks like an open door to me. Let me draw it so y'all can see. See this right here? Looks like an open door. See a little mirror here. Like, is this this car? And this is the supposed wife of this lady? So what is she doing out here? Weird stuff. Whatever. All right then. So shooting in a reverse. Video of the shooting showed her reverse to head back down the road as an agent tried to open the driver's side door handle before she drove off. 3 shots rang out. Again, let's By the way, I don't want to get at the gruesome. There's where the shot was, in the front of the window, not the side, the front. Oh, they've been gathering in the area. Yep, about 5-6 hours. You can drive from a lot of places in 5-6 hours. Others took to the streets waving flags that read FTP, standing for F the police. Wonder who else has said that. Wonder if Tim Walz has said anything about the police officers or ICE agents and framing them as, as terrorists themselves. Just crazy stuff. Some were seen burning the American flag. Also, others held them upside down. All these people going to tell us about how, patriotism and loving your country. Video shared online showed ICE and other federal agencies dousing protests with tear gas and pepper spray. All right, Daily Mail. Okay, there, Piers Morgan. By the way, if you don't know his affiliation with Daily Mail. During a press conference on Wednesday afternoon, Walz warned the Minnesota National Guard to prepare for deployment. See, this is what I'm talking about. Everybody accused conservatives, the right, Trump supporters of being dangerous people or whatever, but you got Tim Walz is the one out there getting at a podium talking about using the National Guard to fight against federal law enforcement. And remember what all these people had to say about January 6th. Don't let that get lost on you. Oh, well, Ashley Babbitt shouldn't have been where she was and in the way, and that guy did the right thing when he shot her, and da-da-da-da-da. Now this happens, and all of a sudden it's like, so what? She was trying to, she rammed her vehicle into him. Doesn't matter. I don't think Ashley Babbitt even broke the glass out. She was just trying to go through the door. But she deserved it, right? Anyway, so these teachers in your community, they're business owners, blah, blah, blah. This dude.
We've been warning for weeks that the Trump administration's dangerous, sensationalized
operations
are a threat to our public safety.
That
someone was going to get hurt. Just yesterday, I said
someone was going to get hurt.
Exactly that.
Weird.
What we're seeing is the consequences of governance designed to generate fear, headlines, and conflict. It's governing by reality TV. And today that recklessness cost someone their life. And from here on, I have a very simple message.
Here we go.
We do not need any further help from the federal government. To Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, you've done enough. There's nothing more important than Minnesotan safety. I've issued a warning order to prepare the Minnesota National Guard. We have soldiers in training and prepared to be deployed if necessary.
Yeah, this is the guy that also, you know, all the fraud running up rampant again through his state. Absolutely nothing. Look at all these happy people with the homeless looking self. Yep. Oh, yep. Throwing snowballs. Looks like it covered in homeless pee and poop. Whatever. Land back. FTP. Sounds like an Antifa slogan. Seeing consequences of government's designed to generate fear in the headlines. I've got a couple of minutes left. You know, I think what I'm gonna do, it does make me think of like Andy Ngo. I'm gonna get rid of this. This is what I think, by the way.
This my shit. All the girls stop me like.
Anyway, there we go. We got a little bit more of that. But I wonder if Andy Ngo has tweeted out anything. Let me go see. Because usually if these people, oh, this is that lady. Oh, she's a lawyer telling them all, we're going to do this. But it's not organized.
I don't do anything. I don't know. I say we line up
Crazy eyes.
right across these and block these doors.
Damn right.
I second that motion. Go ahead. Try and move us. Let's block them in.
Block them in.
She's a lawyer, so is that all right? Is that all right?
I refuse to provide legal advice.
Oh, okay, it's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's all right, because we're not
But I
doing
will
nothing wrong.
say, misdemeanor bail, $78 exactly is the minimum bail. Make sure you have some cash on you when
I got
you
some
are
cash
out.
for everybody.
Make sure that you get yourselves out.
For real.
Or heck, you just call Kamala Harris. She can put out a tweet and do a GoFundMe for your bill.
Right or not. So let's organize and let's lock these doors up so they can lose business and deal with this atrocity that happened. If they arrest us all, it's going to be a party in jail.
These people look that homeless, I'm telling you. Like, see, there's the dude. Breaking riders have just smashed the doors. Federal courthouse in downtown Minneapolis while chanting "ICE out now." Where's the National Guard, Tim Waltz? Yeah, look. That's the dude they're talking about. Yeah, That's it. That's the dude. To all accounts, by the video I've seen, the woman was shot today was just trying to get out of the situation. Okay. Oh, then the Antifa exposed this. Maybe cover that tomorrow too whenever we're done. But that is my time. I was going to look up Andy Ngo, but I looked that up after this. Let me shut this down. Thanks for hanging out with me. I think that's going to be